Okay, so we don't practice enough in the studio, braking, and then test day comes around and the kid freaks out because they've never broken a board. The wood boards are a lot easier than the re-breakable boards. So if you actually practice, you would overcome that mental hurdle that board breaking presents and think, oh, I gotta hurt my hand. These actually even have foam on top of them, so even easier. But depending on your level, there's a thickness, I suppose. Yellow belts, white yellow belts, should be practicing, I guess, maybe on these if they're children. And you know, whatever the break is for your form, you should be practicing. There should probably be at least maybe 2 breaks. I don't know, one for kicking, one for punching. But I can't really do much because I'm on my own, as we see, at home due to the pandemic. But we can do a couple basic breaks that I can hold myself and go from there. So if you're starting with these boards, all right, remember the board will not break if you don't hit it directly in the center. And if someone's holding it, it's going to hurt more if you hit it off center because it's putting pressure on that wrist. So you know you want to work on your precision first, and then your follow through. Now remember, you're not aiming at the board, you're actually aiming past the board. So if I'm aiming at that person or I'm aiming at the floor, but I'm never aiming at the board. The board is just in my way. And if you have that mentality, it doesn't matter if it's 1 board or 4 boards or whatever, you're going to go through the board. But it's the people that stop, they pop it, and then they can't break the board. Now with this board, I could probably pop it and it'll still break because this is weak. But once you get to multiple boards, you cannot pop it. You're going to have to go through it. All the way through down or through forward. One of the two. So with these ones, okay, we can start with the basic knife hand neck chop. So we have a neck chop. Comes down on a 45-degree angle like I showed you, or it could come down straight like a hammer fist. Okay, we're hitting with the padded part. Most important thing is we're not hitting with our fingers. We're not hitting with our wrist. We're hitting only with this padded part, which helps us because it curves outward a little bit. And you only use the pads so you don't break yourself. The most common fracture in the hospital, boxer's fracture again, hitting with your knuckles at a bowling ball. It's consistency with the human head is not a smart thing to do. Okay, so aiming in the middle, okay, we'll do a basic downward chop, okay, for the beginners. This is probably the easiest thing you'll want to do for your basic breaks. Okay, so we key up as we strike, and that focuses our energy and power when we go through the board. Okay, whatever. Next up, I guess, would be blue belt level boards or whatever. Slightly thicker. I'm not sure how many millimeters that is, probably 6. This is probably 8. Red's probably 10. The black's probably 12, I think, maybe. But they're all pine wood anyway when they're the real boards. They're not like oak. So it's really more mental, okay? Same thing with these, okay? I'll demonstrate a different one, the hammer fist, okay? Even easier. So if a kid's getting freaked out doing the knife, hammer is very easy to do as well. Shouldn't take much force to go through the board. And again, we can come down like a hammer like this. We can also do a back fist through the board. I don't know if I can do that while I'm holding it, but we'll go ahead and try something different. So back fisting through the board, wind up, and then throw, okay? So we'll go ahead and try that. Okay, so yes, you can do it through a blue board, I guess. Doesn't take much there. Okay, next one, red board. I guess we're at 10 millimeter. Not that hard either. Again, more mental. What else can I do with one-handed? Well, we can do a basic ridge hand. Ridge hand, okay. I hate this break, honestly, but we still teach it. So ridge hand. When you do the ridge hand, the trick to ridge hand is actually to keep your arm bent, okay? Don't leg it straight. Because if you hit something with your arm straight and you hit it hard enough and wrong, you could hyperextend your elbow. So you actually have to kind of keep it sort of bent. Your fingers have to be very tight and together, and the thumb tucks down underneath and creates a flat area here that you're hitting with. I would rather hit with the pad, but this is at least still somewhat cushy enough. And there's enough cushion. It's not like hitting with the top, which again, is not always the smartest thing to do. Okay, so I'm going to attempt a ridge hand on this board, holding it myself. I'm not sure if I'll be able to hold it to do this break, but we'll try it. All right, so coming through, you would rotate your hips. That's where the power comes from, and you go through the board. All right. Typically when we're breaking, we do 2 key ups. I haven't been doing them. 1 key up to let the board holder know that you're about to come through, and then 1 key up as you're going through the board with your stroke to release the energy. Okay, I'm just doing 1 because I'm holding it myself, and I'm not need to let myself know that I'm ready. Okay. All right, and reach in. Okay, so I guess you can do that too. All right, the last board is blackboard. Black belts, obviously, or whatever, bow down or the higher level brown and up in some studios should be practicing with the full millimeter board. I know they do it by age level too, but again, it's all mental. I've seen kids go through bricks and concrete, so it just depends on the kid and where you're at mentally. Okay, so with this last one, I have to come up with one more break. One more break I can do. I'm going to do. I'm going to do a front kick, I guess. I can do a front kick on my own. That should be fine. Now, typically with a front kick, okay, you want to come up with the ball of the foot, all right, and hit the middle of the board, and you'll break it. This might be more difficult than actually being able to do that. I'm going to do a punch instead. Sorry, guys. This is going to be a little too hard for me to. I'm sure I can do it, but I don't know. It's a little difficult. Now, going like that, I don't like kicking with the top of my feet, as I told you, all the bones are there. So I'm going to do a punch. We'll do a punch, go through this board, and we'll be done for the day for breaking. All right? So punching through the board again. Got to aim for the middle with the re-breakable board. And you'll go through. Remember, you're punching through the board. The board is in the way. You're going through the board. You're just trying to get to the other side. The board is not your target. It's what you're going through. Okay? So let's go ahead. And the black belt board on the last hit here. All right? Tight. Okay, good. Tight. And if the tighter your fist is, the less it's going to hurt. Okay? Good.